Hi everyone, my name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator, and this is part of my series of self-improvement paths. I like to start each week with a mantra or a practice that makes moving ahead in my work and in my life a little bit easier and a little bit more fun. The examples I'm going to give are from my work as an audiobook narrator, but I think that these principles can apply to just about anything that you want to improve in. You give it a try and let me know. This week's path is determine if you're on a water slide, a still lake, or a rough ocean. What do I mean by that? I discovered that I have a general hesitation when somebody posts or puts to me a learning opportunity. Learning has me sort of like, I don't want to take that in. And so I was like, okay, well, it's not so much that I don't like learning, it's that there are certain types of learning experiences I don't like. And so I thought, there are times when I am amassing information that I'm already so hungry for, it is just a delight to take it in and assimilate it. I know exactly what to do. Now that is like being on a water slide. There are other times where I can understand the information that's being given and I can assimilate it. It's a little bit of an effort, but it's sort of like rowing on or paddling on a still lake. It's okay, you got it going, got it going, got it going. Then there are times where it is like a rough ocean. I don't quite understand what's being given to me. I feel stupid for not having known this information. I feel suddenly terrified of having to know this information, and it seems like the more information that's given to me, the more I realize I don't know, and type of thing. Okay, so what's the point of tracking this stuff? The point of tracking this stuff is just to, I think, make sure that I understand what type of learning really, what flow of learning really feels good. And perhaps if I'm on the rough ocean, can I build in a safety plan in terms of how to navigate myself back to the still lake at least? Could I, on the still lake, install things that make it feel more like a water slide? This I haven't figured out just yet, but I think tracking it is particularly important, at the very least, so that I can give myself credit when going on the rough ocean. Just being like, yeah, that was scary, that was stressful, that was boring, all that sort of thing. But you know what? We finished. Let's give you a little bit more rest and a little bit of a treat. So, how would this apply to audiobook work? I am so technophobic. I could just, it's like coming out of my ears. So when learning a new piece of software or having to adjust file settings when I'm saving my audio files or uploading them to a certain site, I get very rough ocean anticipatory. So it's good for me to simply say, okay, I'm feeling like this is a rough ocean. Okay. So then I give myself some credit, I give myself some love, and I say, okay, let's go into it. Let's approach it like a still lake, and if it gets rough ocean, let's identify the steps that get you back to still lake. That's one way of doing it. Now another thing is, like, for mapping, let me just stay on this topic for a second. For mapping my way back to shore, it could be, okay, if I can't figure this out in the next 15 minutes, I'm going to move on to something else and let that be settled before I go back to this. I'm going to put a general question out on Facebook or in another forum just saying, hey, I'm really struggling with this. Does anybody have an idea? Those are ways that I can get back to still lake. Now, for a student, students are learners. So if there's something that as a student you are finding is rough ocean, how can you start to break it down into still lake? Another way I like to think of this is, can you make the sites that you're setting for yourself a little bit more mediocre? A C plus is still a passing grade. Can you just get the job done or get the assignment done and be okay with that? That could take you from rough ocean to still lake. So, is it a water slide, a still lake, or a rough ocean? That's what I'm going to be playing with this week. I'll get back to you with my results. You get back to me with yours. Thank you for joining me. And as your narrator and narration teacher, I hope that our paths cross again real soon.